Welcome to Farming Smarter. I'm Jamie. I'm going to take you on a tour of a dozen or so of our research trials and some of our demonstration plots that we're going to showcase at some of our summer events this year. Let's go have a look at what we have going on this year. Right, first trial up here on the right is one of our Saving Soils projects. This one's looking at living mulches, and so we've got a couple different crops in here. We've got canola, beans, and corn, and we're looking at living mulch, so seeding something between the rows. So they were all seeded last fall with fall rye or fall rye with winter peas. And so then this is the canola here, and you can see some of the fall rye has been terminated, so it's sprayed out with herbicides. You can see it's still living, still within the plot, but not living, not competing for resources. And here's the corn trial. And then this next trial here is our seed canola date and variety, and so we're looking at a bunch of different varieties along with different seeding dates, and looking at the male and female seed canola and the different dates that they were seeded on. So that's what this one is. So with seed canola, we obviously need leafcutter bees to do our pollination. So here's the leafcutter bee tent in the middle, because this next trial is also a seed canola trial. And this one we're looking at different tillage and different seeding depths. And so we've got 3 different types of tillage. There's a no-till, a zero-till, and a conventional till. And then we've also got 2 and 5 inch depths on that, just to see the differences. And another canola trial that we have, this is our ARD canola trial, where we're looking at no-till and strip till, as well as conventional till, and then 4 different equipment / openers. There's our precision planter, a narrow knife, a spreader tip, and a disc hoe opener. And this one we've got at different locations. So there's 2 in Lethbridge, 1 dryland, 1 irrigated, as well as a dryland and irrigated site at one of our other locations here in southern Alberta. All right, so on our right here, we're actually looking at upland rice. So this is one of the rice production sites that we have, and we're looking at seeding dates as well as different PGRs. So there's four concentrations, as well as a couple check treatments, where we're looking at if there's any advantage in using a plant growth regulator on upland rice here in southern Alberta. Oh, this trial is one of our ultra early. So this is looking at seeding depth, so 1 inch, 1 inch versus 3 inches, as well as seeding date-ish. We're looking at soil temperature actually, so 0 degrees, 2 degrees, 4 degrees, 6 degrees, 8 and 10 degrees. And then we have 5 different varieties within this trial. So there's 3 factors in this trial. So we've got, like I mentioned, the timing, as well as the varieties and the depth. And this trial is our 318, and this one's only looking at the timing and the variety. So again, ultra early seeding of the durum, and they would have been seeded early this spring. However, with the late spring, our soil temperatures took quite a while to get to the appropriate warmth, and so our seeding dates are actually quite a bit later than they have been in previous years. But that's the timing it as posted date by the soil temperature. And this trial here is another one of our Saving Soils projects, and we're looking at roller crimping cover crops. So cover crop termination and the cover crop seeding date. We had 2 different cover crops in here, so there was a fall rye and winter oats, and we looked at roller crimping as a potential option for termination, but there was also herbicide applications to help with the elimination of the cover crop as well.
Okay, around the corner.
Farming Smarter in 2023, we're going to have 174 different trials or locations or demonstration plots. So some of those would have, like for example, the ARD trial that we drove past, it has 4 trials within it because there's 2 Lethbridge locations, 1 dryland, 1 irrigated, and then 2 locations at our Bow Island site, 1 dryland and 1 irrigated. So that would, count for 4 of those 174 trials. So the majority of the work that we're doing is small plot, but we also have some field scale trials that we're looking at various things within the farm on a larger scale. And so these 174 trials actually equate to over 7,600 different plots that we're managing this year. So there's a lot of work and a lot of mowing and maintenance for our staff. Lots of data collection and different things that we're collecting on each of our trials. So there's a lot of work, and we've got a handful of summer students this year. So these plots here are going to be used for a discussion on Thursday at our plot hop, and it's looking at nitrification inhibitors, and Dr. Linda Gorham is going to come and talk about it. So we've got 2 different barley varieties, 9 treatments plus a check looking at different nitrification inhibitor effects. Cool. All right, the plots here on the right is a demo plot for Dr. Charles Geddes. He's going to come and talk about weeds and weed resistance and managing weed problems within your field. So this wheat demo has different seed rates, so seeding rates, as well as row spacing.
Which?
Row spacing and herbicide options, including some pre-emergent or before the crop herbicides, so applied pre-seed. And our Sask flax, different varieties. Looks like some differences in flowering and heights and maturity. These ones are already potted. Fabulous. And a sweet corn trial. Another FMC trial.
This is
Silage corn trial. Another industry corn trial. Next corn trial, this one here, is actually in partnership with University of Manitoba. We're working with Dr. Yvonne Lawley, and it's a corn intercropping study, and we're looking at a few different intercropped species, so Italian ryegrass, hairy vetch, a forage radish, as well as crimson clover. So they're interseeded plots with corn and these other cover crops in between the rows. So on the right we have our rolling barley and rolling wheat trials. So these rolling cereal plots are looking at the best time to roll the barley to reduce its impact, I guess. So there's 5 different timings, growth stages, where we're going to be rolling the cereals and seeing the effect on biomass as well as on yield. There's 2 treatments for conventional till versus zero till, just to see if there's also differences between the tillage types. So we've got here the treatments that we're going to be showing on Thursday for the tour are all flagged here on the barley, and then these wheat plots up here. This trial here is our maximizing feed yield while minimizing lodging, so sort of known to staff as MIMBY, that's short for maximizing barley while minimizing lodging. And we're just looking at 3 varieties of barley with 8 treatments and a check of PGRs, which include split applications, which is sort of different. There's not a lot of research on that so far, so we're going to look into it and see if there's differences in the straight application, single application versus the split timing. And you can see already there's differences in height in the barley yield, different barley plots.